It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
You decide when you lose, not other people.
And Blabs.
I like pickles.
And co-hosted by our friends from around the internet. If you like common sense, hit that thumbs up button and, of course, the subscribe button. And join us Monday through Friday live at 11 a.m. Central Time. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on God's green earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com, not Rumble.com, and definitely not Locals.com. Good Lord, we will need to figure that out later. But hello, everybody. Welcome on out. It is Thursday, and it is for real Side Scrollers. Welcome on out, everybody. Good to see everybody. We're back. We're live. And I want to let you know that this is the beacon of professionalism in every way, shape, and form. The #1 video game podcast on planet Earth. We are here live, and like nothing ever happened. Joining me today, as always, the one, the only, the wonderful Blabs.
Hi,
Hello,
would you like me to go in and make a Rumble Locals account thingy?
Yeah, you can go fix it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. Appreciate that. Look, we just chaos. Did you know, Blabs? We made $200.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
It's pretty amazing. Okay, and if you hear thunder outside, if I leave for any point in time, Blabs, I want to let you know.
I'm the captain then?
Yes, you are the captain because weather has, listen, if you haven't seen, it has been chaos in the worst way possible weather-wise here in the North Texas area. Giant, like literally giant thunder, lightning just hit right outside. And we may go at any time. Last time this happened, we had a power outage for well
you
over
were
18
Netflix.
hours. Yes, I was straight up Netflixed. But look, we're going to have a great show today. We have some phenomenal guests that I'd like to introduce for the first time today. It's Jeff from World Class Bullshitters. Hello, Jeff. How are you?
I'm just fucking with you. Hey guys, how you doing? That was I couldn't even commit to the bit fully because the look on your face, you're like, oh, not again. But folks,
Yes.
It was awesome. I'll just say this real quick. I'm happy that it happened because I got to watch the intro twice. I love the intro to this show. So there's a positive to be had. But folks, welcome in. It's going to be a great time today.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We work hard on stuff with intros and stuff. Hey, I am glad to be staring at this guy's face too. Waking up at 2:00 in the morning, nay, 2:27 in the morning. It's our friend Raging Ryno. How are you?
Yes, good. How are you? 2:27. Yes, introducing me in for the first time. How you doing? Good to see everybody. How do I follow up Jeff with that? Man, you should have committed to the bit. Honestly,
That was pretty great.
I respect Craig and Blabs too much to have him go through another butthole clinching moment. We only have so much time left. So
when the blood pressure starts to rise and the sweat starts to bead. Oh
That's
shit!
Pretty much what happened. Yeah, absolutely. But at the end of the day, hey, we appreciate you hanging out with us in the middle of the night over there. And
Of course.
I promise today we are going to queue up some softballs and let you hit some grand slams if you understand that reference, which you probably don't.
No, I understand the reference. I watch plenty of sport.
Okay. Wasn't sure. We are live over on Rumble right now, which is great.
Fixed it.
Thanks, Pro Chacho. Appreciate that.
Working on Locals now.
We are live over on Rumble at rumble.com/sidescrollers. We will be live over on sidescrollers at locals.com. You can also watch us over at x.com/sidescrollerpod. And we also have an Instagram account, don't we, Blabs?
Yeah, we do. So follow some music clips of the show. I'm so lost, bro.
I know. And a Kick account, and you can listen to the show over on Apple Podcast, including I think that 27 minutes that we were live a few minutes ago will probably go down. Like, it just needs to be there forever, right? As like this, it's going to put it on a mountain and be like, this is chaos. And we know it's chaos. It's that meme of the dog sitting there with the fire all around it. That's exactly what that was. So, but yes, we're live over there. If you are new to us over on YouTube, do us a favor, hit the subscribe button, join the 82,700 common sense lovers of the video game and entertainment space. Appreciate that. Let's also hit our goal of 900 likes today. Let's do it. And our goal of 25 members. Now, look, we got a big month ahead of us. We are just 2 days away from Pride Month hitting, guys. I know people are really, really excited about this. But something I did want to point out that in addition to the wonderful Blabs the Tower Tard karaoke shirt and my daughter's shirt, which she created, the Let Us Skateboard t-shirt, which I love the design so much, I put it on a t-shirt. We have also rolled out 2 days early for you guys, the best type of pride. The best type of pride to beat everybody to the punch. We're launching our own Pride Month with our own merchandise, and we're talking about American Pride. We have our American Pride shirts available right now in the store. You can go pick them up. We have two different styles of shirts. We have the these shirts over here are like the really nice. They're called a tri-blend shirt over on the right hand side. Then we have like your traditional Gildan t-shirts, all the same design over here. And then we have the American Pride hat, which doesn't have any side scroller branding on it at all. I just like the design so much, I wanted to put it on a hat and embroider it. It looks nice. So if you like Raging Ryno and really, really ooze American Pride, you can go pick it up right now.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Donald Trump, 2024.
We're doing it right, baby. We're doing it right. All right. Look, off to a great start. I think we. Yes.
You need to share the picture of Blabs taking a shit with the chat.
That's true. I didn't see it.
They didn't see it before. They got to see it.
That's true. That's true. Let me pull that up really quick because that was. It is now, by the way, it is the thumbnail of the previous stream.
Is it actually? No.
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
would you do that?
Oh, it's great. So here is this is a screenshot that I took before. I asked Blabs to smile because she hadn't seen because I saw something different on the back end of Rumble Studio that she did. So I asked her to smile because I knew I was going to take a screen cap. And here's the face that she made, which will surely be a meme. Will surely be an emote very, very shortly.
You know, you post it on Twitter so I can share my photo that I took of you and my Netflix face because I couldn't get in before. I'm just saying.
It looks like you're really gripping the bowl, like
you know, just going hard.
Yeah. This is what I got before.
Yes, listen, I'm in constant thought. That's
Pondering. And I had Jeff's problem before I figured out that I had a trick Rumble. So there it is. That's my photo.
All right. Well, look, we don't have any time to waste today. We do see your support, your Rumble rants, and your direct donation. Actually, I don't see your Rumble rants, Blabs. If you can keep an eye on that because I gotta check that out. But I do. See...
Locals is up too. So hi, Locals.
Oh, excellent. We're glad to have you guys in. But I would like to point out that Ian came in with a $50, 50 euro monies. It says Suicide Squad had a better launch than this. Yeah, I know that'll go down in infamy, and I love it. I love everything about it. Since you're up in the middle of the night, Ryno, you get to pick the color that we're going to go with today on the wall. What do we got today?
Green.
Green,
the best color in the world.
The greatest color. Why is that? Because it's the color of money.
It's just well, there is that. It's not the color of money here, though.
Oh, that's true.
We got like colors of the rainbow for money.
Oh.
You got Monopoly money over there, like Canada.
Yeah, we do. No, but green's just my favorite color. It's the best color.
It's probably because of like Luke Skywalker's lightsaber or Yoda.
There is a little bit
maybe
of that.
You have. Look at you're rocking a green cup. He's got the green wall.
I mean, green is actually my favorite color too. That and orange. So I guess my favorite color is pumpkin.
So your superhero is Aquaman, right?
No.
I mean, he's orange and green. That's
no.
It's Aquaman. He's kind of lame, so I get it.
Yeah.
Well, Ian, we appreciate that greatly. And Jeff says, can we get some normal men pride? Hey, listen, Jeff. At the end of the day, aren't we all just normal men?
Yes,
we are. Normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
Look at Jeff. He's like, what the hell was even that?
Yeah. And I got a video where people have talking horses make weird sounds. That threw me off. So
we're just normal men.
All right.
That's what our community is called, normal men.
That's right. That's right. We've officially rebranded our community from G2s to normal men because that's pretty much who watches this show. Normal people, which is wonderful. So, hey, Tomac came in with the 10, says, Ninja, please. Hey, Tomac, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Miner came back, says, I'm here now. Let's get nude, gentlemen. No. Nathan came in and says, oh, geez, remember the pinned locals chat. Oh, thank you for that, Nathan. Appreciate that.
It's forever pinned on that stream. It never
Yep,
went
forever.
away.
Miner came and says, "Hey, what's up, Yellow Flash? Hey, Flash is in the chat. Flash, always a pleasure to see you. Look forward to seeing you on Monday for sure. I'm sure there'll be nothing to talk about." Emerald says, "Do you guys like my avatar? She's new." Yeah,
Yeah, right?
Nice job.
yeah, very good, Emerald. Good stuff. Thank you. Emerald sales. Das Pooch came in, says, "Can't decide on favorite part of the pre-show, all the overlay stuff that didn't show on screen, or thinking they were still offline but still live. 10 out of 10. That's right." Hey, did you know that ad read made us like $200? That's crazy. Just saying. I feel like that's really important to point out. Kalichi came in, says, "You guys should do more pre-shows." Nope, that was it. That was the one. That was the one.
How many reads can you do on one stream? Because you,
know,
just sit there and you just stream and just
Yeah.
read and
Okay.
read and
Can I be
read.
I honestly thought about it because they have them all queued up on the side over there. And it's like, I was like, I could probably, we could probably make a pretty good chunk of change if we just kept reading.
Just read them.
Yeah, that would have been fun. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll set aside a day where it's like, hey, everybody needs to come and watch this stream. And all I'm going to do is it's just like an ad read stream. That's right.
Yeah. Just call it the ad read and just go through each one.
Everyone. See if you can go through them twice, want to just keep on looping.
Yeah.
Hey, Clemson came in and says, "This stream's technical prowess greater than Mazda." Hey, thanks, Clemson. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
And Xander came in and says, "Was your dignity worth $200? Well, listen, you got to try things, Xander. You got to try. You got to try, man. And it didn't work out. But thanks, Rumble, for that. Cool Dudes came in and says, "Not sure if you saw the screenshots or tweet. Nick is calling on his followers to mass report Smash and get his site pulled." Well, that happened earlier. I don't know if it's happened again. I thought he had moved on from that. The whole Nick Calandra versus Smash JT drama. Did you guys hear about all that stuff?
Yep.
No? Yeah.
Not
Long and
me.
short of it, Raging Ryno, journalist, doesn't like Smash JT, who's a YouTuber. Smash JT made a list of Kotaku journalists or friends of Kotaku's. Journalist guy didn't like it, mass flagged his website to the provider, got it pulled down, and now it's back up. So John came in and said, "Jeff, I mentioned to Craig about the drama in Toy Collector YouTube after your show about it. Just reminding Craig to bring it up."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Spicy stuff.
Whenever you're ready. I talked to Blabs about it off air. So whenever you want to talk about it, I'm ready.
We'll definitely get to that very shortly. Snake Master says, "Blabs, did you check out the Side Scrollers AI song I sent you on X? I think it turned out pretty well. Shout out to Normal Men."
Oh, no. It probably went to my request. I'll look later. Thank you.
Sounds good. Miku came in and says, "Rule 34 Emerald." Thank you, Miku. Appreciate that. And I am the Icarus came in with a 5 over on Rumble. Says, "Lies and deceit. Locals is good." the new best Side Scrollers lore. There we go. Thanks, I am the Icarus. And Kinetic and Blake also picked up the American Pride t-shirt. Love that. And Blake says, "The women will American lust after me when I wear this." Thanks, Blake. And Kinetic, appreciate your support. That is excellent. Razorburn wants to know, says, "Ryno, are those models or Lego sets behind you?"
No, the Lego sets. I've got a lot more than this as well. There's obviously these ones down here. And there's a lot more downstairs. But I've started thinking I want to get into models. I haven't built any Lego in ages. I want to get that big Barad-dûr. That thing looks awesome. I don't know if you've seen it, but from Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
Sauron's eye, the big tower with the eye on top. It looks awesome. 5,500 pieces. That's probably going to be my next build, but it's expensive. So
wow.
Got to put a little bit of money aside, but I think I'm going to start moving towards some Hot Toys and stuff like that as well. Because
welcome to the club.
Yeah, man. I got a mate at work that he just spent about $3,500 on just buying a whole heap of them. And I was getting jealous, him showing me, I just got this, I just got this. So, yeah.
That's a whole lot of ad reads right there.
Yeah.
Hey, Greg.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, Blabs.
Over on Rumble, Carnicus just donated $50.
Wow.
It says Lake Gay and a dumpster fire with the Elmo on fire emote.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we're glad to be with you guys today. And Carnicus, thank you very much for that great support. And thank you for the Elmo. Oh, look at that. Look at that, Carnicus.
Thank you.
That is great. All right. Let's get into it, Blabs. What do we have today in Gaming History?
Okay, well, it's ironic that today we're talking of Star Wars and these boys are here because I made this yesterday morning, way before yesterday's show. But May 30th, Spider-Man 2, The Sinister Six was released back in 2001. Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones video game was released back in 2002, which is ironic for today. And then Kingdom Hearts 358, 2 Days, was released back in 2009. So it's basically like handheld Thursday. You're welcome.
Wow.
That's a good phrase.
Handheld Thursday.
I like that.
It's like DSP's. Oh, sorry. Let's go. Of those games, everyone loves the GBA. It was more like a mobile Super Nintendo back in the day, or Super Famicom for our friends over in the East. But yeah, I'm not familiar with any of those games that you had popped up there, Blabs. What do we got? The Spider-Man 2, The Sinister Six.
Mhm.
I didn't know Kingdom Hearts had like a GBA. Is that a GBA?
Yeah, it was like a
that's
Nintendo
DS.
DS.
Yeah, that's a DS game. Okay, cool, interesting.
Mhm.
Oh, nice.
Three
Nice.
generations represented. There you go.
Yeah, love
Yeah.
that. Let's get to another ad read that will not make us $200, but that is brought to you by our friends over at Zydex PCs. If you guys haven't yet, consider checking out Zydex PCs. If you're in the market, they've been great to us, and we will continue to support them. They are hand-built in the United States. They have U.S. support. So the link is in the description. Zydex PCs. Would really appreciate the support with those. Thanks so much for picking those up and supporting us, Zydex. All right. We are now in our comfort zone. We're back. We got our robes on. We're smoking cigars over here on StreamYard.
Where's your robe, Ryno?
Just saying,
Go and get it.
we're in the hot tub now. We're leaning back. Everyone's comfy.
Should I
We're
go
all-
get a robe?
Yeah, absolutely.
Go get your
I have one somewhere. I don't know where I put it, but I'll get it later.
Well, look, it's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for hard news. All right. I can't think of anything more hard than news than going to our friend down in the bottom corner of the screen, Jeff. You had some news today that I think we should definitely pop on and talk about today. After 3 years of hard work, it is finally here. What do you have going on, bud?
Folks, Wokebusters is finally here. It's on Kickstarter. You guys can go get it. It is, like you said, Craig, it's been 3 years of hard work. It's 100 pages of story. It's a big book, and I'm very proud of it. There's a trailer that you guys can go over there and watch. I spared no expense on anything. It's fully animated. Wokebusters is the epitome of what independent comics can do, and there's one thing we need from you guys is to help spread the word and get it out there. This book makes fun of the cartoon society that we live in today, so I made it look like a cartoon to parody the world we live in. But if you're tired of the craziness that is outrage, check it out.
Love that. So this is a book that you've created.
Yeah, the music is not as copyright free, so don't worry. You don't have to play it, but I'm just letting you know you won't get dinged because I play it on my show.
Okay.
But, this is written and drawn by me. This is not my first comic. I had Stealing Solo out a couple years ago, and this is the follow-up. Stealing Solo was a success. It was a parody of Star Wars where we kidnap Harrison Ford. And this one, we parody Ghostbusters to parody society. So it's a lot of fun. It's an epic. It's a comedy. It's not a lot of people standing around talking. There's monsters. There's car chases. It's got everything a comic book should have and a whole lot more. So, folks, all you have to do is go over to Kickstarter or go to wokebusterscomic.com and check it out and be a part of it. It'll be out in 60 days. It is done. This is not a project that you will wait on. This is fully finished. Every page is inked, colored, drawn, formatted, and ready to go. All we have to do is close out the campaign. It'll go right to print, and it'll go directly to you. So you don't even have to leave your house to get the best comic book that is out this year.
All right. Awesome. Well, we'll definitely put a link to that in the description as well as in the chat so everybody can check it out. Wokebusters.
Thank you,
Blabs. Okay. Blabs, for some reason, put this in the chat, which I can't think of any better of a detox after starting everything the way it did the other day. This is Blabs, why did you feel the need to put this in the chat?
Because I'm surrounded by men and I thought I'd make them happy.
Does this make you happy, gentlemen?
I remember clicking the link to this.
Hey, look, I'm not complaining yet.
Well, let's see what she has to say. Blabs, is this pertinent? Is this important to learn and know?
No, but I thought you'd like to see her jiggle. That's
Okay,
all.
let's see.
The number of people commenting on my videos about this You guys have a hard time believing that when I talk, they just move. Is that so crazy? Like, what? You guys don't have chests like this, so you wouldn't know, but it's kind of hard to have them not move. Like,
Is that why this is hard news?
Hands.
Blabs.
Yeah? You're welcome.
I just want to thank you for this.
Yeah.
This is a great start to the show.
This is why I'm producer of the year.
That's right.
Number one employee. You're only employee, but number one.
Everybody, if you do enjoy this, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up button. If you can take your hand off, just move your hand over to that thumbs up button from wherever it is right now. I'd really appreciate that. So let's enjoy the physics here at play as we finish up the last 20 seconds of this video and then watch it again in slow-mo.
This all makes sense. No, I don't have a Twitch. I don't know, you guys. You guys are just going to pick something out to be angry at me for, and that's fine. But yeah, I don't have a Twitch or Parkinson's or anything else. So have a good day. I'm just going to really lean into it now and go crazy. This is what it would look like if I was shaky.
Who is this woman?
Well, good on her for trolling back.
That's Ryno's future wife.
I'll take
Lucky
it.
you, man.
I agree.
Hey, Blabs, if you can go on TikTok and find the account Court8610 and invite her on the show, I would really appreciate that. I think it's really, I think it's really important that we get to the bottom of what's happening over
I
there.
found her.
Yeah.
Oh, it's literally just videos of just her with her jiggly boobies. I'll email it to you for your free time. Yes?
No. I'm serious. We need to invite her on the show and get to the bottom of this because this is important video game journalism that we're doing here. Okay.
Oh, I emailed myself a reminder to go and stalk this woman. But I don't have TikTok.
She can't move her jaw without moving her chest.
This is important stuff.
I'm sorry, Ryno. Can you do that again?
My chest is bouncing.
If I'm being honest, Ryno, it doesn't have the same effect.
I didn't think it would. I was hoping that it wouldn't.
I mean, so look, Blabs.
Unless you ladies out there want to see this.
Let's go. Let them know, Ryno. Let them know about it. It's good.
His milkshake brings all the women to the yard.
That's right.
Nope. All right, let's go ahead and just take a big, deep breath, and I'll just move on from that. Blabs, thank you for that. What a great start.
You're welcome. I help.
And Blabs also put this in. You did help. You helped a lot of people today, more than you know. I'll tell you what. The screen got paused by a lot of people. They started opening up new windows looking for this lady. Oh no! Apparently, they're gonna unsubscribe because of that. That's tough. Oh well. I'm sorry. What the amount of people
you don't like boobs, bro. You must be really sad.
Sorry, bro. Yeah, well. Blabs, you wanted to talk about this. This is a Harry Potter thing today?
What's so this is Hogwarts Legacy announcement. It's just like a quick update. They haven't done anything in almost a year or so. We're well overdue for some DLCs. Basically, what they're going to do is give you some new skins, a new potion, and if you didn't have PlayStation, you get a new quest. So the quest they're releasing next week was a PlayStation exclusive on launch. That was how you wanted to entice you to buy PlayStation, Sony, and all that. But now you'll be able to play this quest a year and a half later, give or take. So that's it. Just a really quick hit news for anyone who has Hogwarts Legacy and wants to play. There's an update for you next week.
What is this? What does the glasses that lived mean? What
It's the dumbest thing ever. They're trying to tie in Harry Potter. So they're giving you those glasses that you can put on as a skin on your character's face.
Is that like they're trying to...
It's so lame. Like they keep trying to do all these stupid times. Harry Potter. I'm like, this is like a different century, you morons. Stop it. Anyway, it's fine.
So they're Harry Potter's glasses. So it's
yes.
kind of like they're throwing in an Easter egg for no real reason.
It's like a very much, but it's not an Easter egg because it's so obvious. It's like a slap in the face. But yeah.
Isn't that every type of entertainment that tries to take you to the world of something that will sell you the recognizable? It's like, hey, enter the world of Star Wars. Luke Skywalker's over there. Pay extra for his lightsaber hilt.
Yeah,
it just to me is milking audiences.
Yeah, this game is just full of it. I mean, there's one thing. It's like, you want me to follow the butterflies, which is a quote from the Chamber of Secrets movie and everything. It's a whole quest, and I'm like, you guys can't be more obvious.
It's kind of the thing though with entertainment these days. Is it most things have just become referential. Like they're just constantly referencing themselves as the, I don't know, the hook to get all these fans excited for this thing, but there's no substance to it anymore.
Dude, that's what The Force Awakens is as a movie. It's when any movie, Ghostbusters, Force Awakens, anything where a character talks about and relays the events of a previous film as exposition is bad and lazy. But it all kind of boils into that because it's a way to sell you the past and a new movie and a remake and a sequel all at one time. It's just a way to sell you the brand without actually moving it forward.
Yeah.
Well,
then also too, throwing the member berries on the screen without having any reason for those things to actually be there, just because again it references something from the past. It's just, you know, I mean, my biggest example of that would be in Andor, in Luthen's store with all the holocrons and stuff like that. They're just literally there just to remind you, look, this is the world of Star Wars. You remember this, you know this. Starkiller's armor, having the shield from the Gungans on Naboo, like all of that stuff. It's there just so that you see it there. And I'm sure they're doing the same thing with Star Trek, probably the same thing with Doctor Who, even though that's been completely destroyed. And it's the same thing with like what Blabs just showed with that Hogwarts Legacy
New
stuff.
skins,
It's just throwing those things there. Might not actually mean anything, especially for that time period as well. And yeah, is Hogwarts Legacy, is there even Harry?
No, because it's a different century. It's a year before.
Yeah. So let's create his glasses and give his glasses a backstory.
Yeah.
How about that? We'll give his glasses an origin story. Yay!
Yeah, like I'm just curious about the quest because I've heard the quest is probably like the best part of the game, and it's like, ouch, like that's bad. If a side quest is the best thing, so I'll see. So follow my kick in my live stream on YouTube for next Thursday.
All right,
The end.
let's go to some more member bears. You guys were talking about Star Wars, so let's just keep it in the Star Wars universe here, because there's a lot going on here in the last day or so. There's a new now. You guys know that I wouldn't even say I'm a fan of Star Wars. I'm a super Star Wars casual. I've seen each movie once. I saw the first season and a half of like Mandalorian, and I was like, okay, yeah. And I, by the way, I really enjoyed the first season of Mandalorian. I thought it was really, really good.
We all did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
put my hand up and say no. I think it's anyway.
Well, they have a new series coming out called The Acolyte. Now, I'll tell you what, you guys are the experts on this. Why don't you, before we get into the story itself, give everybody a quick rundown of what The Acolyte is, because it's like a Star Wars origin story, right?
Well, you got to take it back real quick. 2 or 3, maybe even 4 years ago, Star Wars launched a new multimedia initiative called The High Republic, which is an era of Star Wars set maybe 100 years before the Phantom Menace. Maybe it's 300 years, but it's kind of like the Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy, where it's something before what we recognize. And briefly, no one has liked those books. The books don't really sell well. The comic books don't sell well. The stuff based on that era of Star Wars isn't successful, and this show is coming from that. So, Ryno, what did you think, man, when you heard this announcement that they're making a show in the world of the High Republic?
Well, so the biggest thing for me, and it always has been, has always really come down to the lore, the canon, and the continuity of all of those things, and the continuity of characters moving through their time periods. All of that stuff is very, very important when it comes to something like Star Wars. In this sci-fi fantasy genre, you could say, those things are so important, especially when you've got a lot of fans out there that's what they love about it, is the connections between these things and how they match up and all of that. My biggest thing with The Acolyte is the fact that we're going to an era where Plagueis is supposed to probably be a thing. Darth Tenebrous, his master, is supposed to most likely be a thing. And yet, you know, we get these constant shifts from dialogue that we've heard before. You know, the Sith have been extinct for a millennia. All of these lines that you hear out there, it's kind of like with the Obi-Wan Kenobi rematch of the century. You know, the circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. Like, it's kind
Only
of
a
stuffs
master of
around
evil.
with those lines there, and the connections just start to fall apart.
Yeah.
Now, could they do a story where 100 years in the past and make a good story out of it? Well, yeah, I guess they could, but with the majority, if not for me, it's pretty much all of everything that they've come out with on Disney Plus has been absolutely garbage. What sort of hope could we give this thing? And then you pile on top of that, sorry, Jeff, and then you pile on top of that with the Leslie Headland and the putting her queer identity into this. And then you've got the people, the actors that are in it at Star Wars Celebration last year going, it's a strong female character. Yes, yes. You know, Star Wars has always been about the patriarchy, you know, like this is how it's been promoted. And what are we supposed to think about that, especially with where we are now in the society and the culture?
It's not for you because male Star Wars fans are sexist, according to Kathleen Kennedy. And I got a video about 2 hours from now that'll drop about that. That is why I personally don't expect this. I'm sorry, what did you say, Craig?
I said, what a great transition to the story. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's garbage. And now we're here. So let's talk about that.
All right. So the creator of the show, Leslie Headland, said, I know how frustrating some Star Wars storytelling in the past has been. I stand by my empathy for fans, but I want to be clear. Anyone who engages in bigotry, racism, or hate speech, I don't consider a fan.
Okay, see,
she's a gatekeeper.
But I also see this as the same thing that they did with the Reva character, Moses Ingram, for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. They're getting out in front of this because they know it's going to be a disaster, and they're basically already starting to point the finger. It's you guys out there, you guys that are saying that this character doesn't make any sense. I mean, if I can, just spurg out a little bit here, Reva as a character had the worst motivations moving forward as a character, and our understanding of what she knows, and being that Anakin or Vader is Anakin, all of that sort of stuff, it was so jarring and so out of place that's what most people were criticizing. Not the fact that she was a woman, not the fact that she was black. I will say she can't act for shit, or at least the director that directed her very, very poorly, because all she's doing is screaming is acting. But at the end of the day, it was a shit character, and people voiced that, but yet we're the racist ones. We had Ewan McGregor sitting in his car going, oh, if you're one of these people, you're no Star Wars fan in my eyes. Guys, if anybody in these studios listen to this, you need to stop doing that.
Thank you. Because this is the only way they can get people to talk about their show. That's the problem that nobody addresses, that the media has created. Because I get it, folks. I know how the cycle works. You need to have promotion for something before it comes out, during and after, when it goes to home media or streaming or whatever. What Disney Star Wars has done ever since after The Force Awakens, they have been jumping out in front of these problems. But what they do is they turn off people from watching them. And then when people don't watch them based on what they say about these shows, like this quote from Leslie Headland, they don't watch it, the show fails, and they react, and they put this out ahead of the curve. You know, you said about Reva, everybody wanted to praise Reva. Everyone wanted to put her on this platform and this pedestal and say, yes, queen. Well, guess what? Where Reva lives right now is Ollie's. That figure is one of the most present figures at Ollie's right now. If you don't live in America, Ollie's is a discount chain. Good stuff, cheap is their slogan. I say good is subjective because most of their toys that do not sell are Disney, Star Wars, sequel, and era stuff like that. Yep. Holdo, Reva, Zori Bliss, Jyn Erso, and Rey are everywhere. You will find the Emperor because he's part of a series that hasn't sold, but overall, this political whatever they want to put into Star Wars just makes Star Wars go to the clearance aisle. And they tried to crowdfund a Reva lightsaber 2 years ago during the show. First Star Wars crowdfunder to die. Next one after that didn't go as well. It didn't go as planned at all, and died as well. They have poisoned this brand, and they keep using negativity and garbage to try to goad fans and to talk and yell and fight. And fans have reached a point where they just don't care, and no one's going to watch this show based on this. We'll all grow and do our own thing talking about it, but no one's going to actually watch the show. So they've done this to themselves.
In fact, the last crowdfunding thing that they had that was successful was the Razor Crest, and then they blew it up.
Hold on, though. The Ghost was actually very successful. What you got to remember is...
I'm just saying the last one. The last one was the Razor Crest, I'm pretty sure, that was actually
last one was the Ghost. It's not even out yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
Well, no, that's fine, but it broke records. It goes to show you people are passionate about certain parts of Star Wars, not the whole brand. And now we have a garbage brand that they have spent 5 years dumping on Luke, Han, and Leia, and nobody cares like me. I'm not going to buy a Star Wars figure.
Well, also, too, sorry, Craig, I know you want to move to this really quickly, but the other thing, too, is Star Wars was a movie franchise. It wasn't this TV series, you know, what do they call it? The
miniseries?
No, like the channel that you've got. See,
anyway. Disney Plus?
No. Don't worry. Don't worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a movie franchise. The last movie that we saw from them was a disaster. They can't seem to string a movie together. We constantly get announcements out of Lucasfilm. That's the one thing that they are good at, is announcing stuff. And then they're also good at removing a lot of those things from the slate. They haven't. I'm really interested. My biggest interest right now in Disney Star Wars is to see what the next movie does at the box office when they finally release one. I mean, I don't know what it is. Is it going to be the Mando Grogu movie? Is it going to be Dave Filoni's Mandoverse movie? Is it going to be the Rey movie? Like, are we actually going to see these? I mean, there's Daisy Ridley came out recently and said she still hasn't seen a script yet, but it's just around the corner. But we heard that 6 months ago from the same person. You know, it's just around the corner, but I still haven't read one yet. And we're still hearing the same thing. Like, they don't even, it's like George Lucas said in those interviews for winning that award, they don't understand the Force. They don't understand Star Wars. And for all you Dave Filoni supporters out there as well, he's in that same boat. And the evidence is clear when you watch the shit that he's putting together.
But I think that's the thing, though, is when you have the creator of anything, I don't care if it's Star Wars or Tiddlywinks, right? You have somebody who put their passion behind something. Naturally, people won't understand what the creator felt or their vision was behind anything in it. You know, like, you can only pass it off so much and hope that they do your vision justice at a certain point.
Craig,
yes, sir.
What's your favorite story-driven video game?
Probably the Zelda series.
Okay, so good series. Could you imagine what would happen, like your love for the Zelda series, if, let's say, a studio was to come in and start completely turning it on its head?
Right.
Like,
right.
This is what really comes down to. And look, it's not just Star Wars that's being destroyed like this. We see this with a lot of franchises these days. We get and the lack of creativity that we get out of Hollywood, and the fact that they've got to continue doing either sequels or prequels or remakes. That's all you're pretty much getting these days, and it's starting to get really boring too.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, go on, Craig.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, we have and Disney's doubled down on the sequel side of things, but let's go and hold on to this right here. As Kathleen Kennedy came in, says, my belief is that storytelling does need to be representative of all people. That's an easy decision for me. Then she followed up with, operating within these giant franchises now with social media and the level of expectation is terrifying. Okay, I think that's a fairly vanilla statement that I think most people can agree with. Anytime you're dealing with a major franchise, like if you step into that, I think most people would agree that there's a lot of expectations associated with that. And with social media, you're going to hear that if you're on social media at all. But she continues, says, I think Leslie has struggled a little bit with it. I think a lot of the women who step into Star Wars struggle with this a bit more because of the fan base being so male dominated. They sometimes get attacked in ways that can be quite personal.
Oh, you mean like all fans are racist, bigoted, homophobic people? That sounds like a pretty targeted personal attack to me. I mean, George Lucas, I may have not liked episode 1, but I never heard him go out and say, oh, you don't like Jar Jar? You don't like X amount of people or X people. All he said is he may have been too broad, or, oh man, well, you know, he's integral to the character. Say what you will about George Lucas. There was some humility that came with it. And though I didn't like a lot of his stuff, I still kept going back because I didn't feel like I was disrespected or treated lesser than for not liking something. From Disney, if you don't think their way, you are X, Y, and Z. And I find it funny when I'm called racist because, like, what am I racist towards? I like everybody.
Yeah.
But they keep doing this, and this has been like 7 years at this point. This isn't new from Star Wars at all.
But this is the other thing too, Jeff. You just mentioned episode 1, Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, or The Phantom Menace. You didn't like that movie? You thought it wasn't really that good?
I was 10 years old when it came out, and I was a huge Star Wars fan before it came out. I saw it. I didn't really like Star Wars again until Rogue Squadron came out in 2001. Like, I don't say it to sound like I'm a contrarian or cool, but as a child, I thought those movies always kind of sucked. It wasn't until the third one came out that I was like, yeah, prequels are okay. And then the Clone Wars show hit, and then I was like, oh, I get the whole world. And now I'm on board with everything. But it took me almost 10 years to like it.
Despite how you felt about that, did you still always think that that's just the story and it's a part of the canon?
I'm sorry, what is part of the story?
With the prequels.
Oh,
So
yeah.
for whatever unenjoyment that you got, or disenjoyment, however you say it, you got from those, maybe the first two, do you still consider those, and did you always still consider those to be a part of the canon and a part of the continuity?
Because George Lucas never dumped on Han Solo and Chewbacca, I was always kinder to those movies. But to answer your question fully, yes, it is. Because even as a child, I understood this is building towards Darth Vader. This is building towards Luke Skywalker. Like, I loved this stuff. I think what happens is you're trying to sell something to a generation of people who have too many options. Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Spider-Man, all were out at the same time as the Star Wars prequels. What you have is a generation of people who have grown up that are now having kids, and of course they're going to introduce them to some Star Wars, but Star Wars had so much competition for such a long time. I grew up in the 90s, right before the special editions dropped, and Star Wars was this new thing that an older generation was into, and I thought it was cool because everybody seemed excited about it, and I got into it. It was like part of the culture still. It has been watered down because of there's so much competition and so much bad Star Wars that I don't think that really applies to today's world. But
I understand what you're saying about the competition that's out there. But in all honesty, if Disney took Star Wars and just excelled to heights that we haven't seen, like, honestly, if they had have just adapted a lot of the EU and just told those stories and did them justice,
that'd be great.
They'd be making money hand over fist. It'd be rolling in. They'd be printing money out of it.
But the one thing they have to take into account is the Craigs of the world who are, I watched the movie once, I'm aware of certain things. Like, I don't like what they've done, but by trying to broaden the appeal, they've only pushed away the core that is huge. Like, Star Wars has a core audience that's millions of people. If you're turning off half of them, that's a lot of people to not come back.
Yeah.
I want to dig back into this statement though. And I feel like this is one of the things that we see in entertainment in particular when there's any sort of criticism is they use their sexuality, they use their race as a shield, right? And that's kind of what's happening here. Says I think Leslie has struggled with it a bit. I think a lot of women who step into Star Wars struggle with this a bit more. I think you could say I think anybody who steps into Star Wars is going to struggle with it because people are going to be critical of something that they love. It doesn't matter if they're woman, white, black, gay, straight, whatever, right? The idea that they're stepping into something that people are so passionate about that they want to see successful, there's going to be criticism, right? And the idea that they're admitting because the fan base is so male dominated, then why don't you just embrace that? Why are we trying?
Yeah, this is the thing, though, Craig. Is I don't buy it. I don't buy it because this is the thing. As a Star Wars fan, I've been a Star Wars fan for a damn long time, right? As a Star Wars fan and a white straight male Star Wars fan, if a girl or a woman has ever said to me, "Oh, I love Star Wars," it's never ever occurred to me to say like, "No, you're not." Or like anything like that. In fact, it's been more like, No shit. Because it's so rare that you come across a female Star Wars fan that it's like, oh shit, what's your favorite this? Or what's your favorite movie? Or
Exactly.
the conversation just takes off. I don't understand where this narrative comes from, where it's so patriarchal that the fans have always been like so
Star Wars
bigoted towards.
It's led by
Don't
women.
buy
Every movie. Here's the thing, though, real quick, and I'll leave it to you guys. Every movie, the women are the leaders. Princess Leia had oversight over everybody. General Leia, that's fine by Return of the Jedi. What's her face? Mon Mothma. Padme had control. No one ever complained that the men were the soldiers or the Jedi and the women were the politicians, or they could fight or could fly. It's like Star Wars had it covered. But then you get the people that think we're going to sell it to a modern audience by making it like this. It was already like that. That's like saying the WWE needs diversity when all of their stars for the last 40 years have been multiracial or this or that. Don't get me started on trying to fix the past.
But also now it's being pushed even harder. When you watch something like the Ahsoka series, every leader other than Thrawn, every leader, every person, it's this strong female character now. But it's so in your face that it takes you out of it, right?
They're not
it's like
cool
when
characters.
you watched Leia, or when you watched Padme, or when you saw Mon Mothma, or when you saw these characters, they were quote unquote strong female characters, but it was never so in your face that you were like, oh, look, I see what they're doing, right? Whereas now it's exactly like that. Look, it's another female boss lady talking down to her male underling. You know, that is where the entertainment has gone. And it's kind of like sorry, can you bring that quote up again really quickly?
Sure.
It's the first part of it. It just mentions, where is it? Be representative of all people, right? That right now is what's more important in entertainment than telling an actual story, with the right people there to direct it, the right people there to write it, you know, the people that understand the laws within these universes that have actually been established and created.
And they could fix it if they just made everybody aliens. They didn't focus on sexuality, and they told an epic story of good versus evil that humans can relate to on a deeper level. That's your Star Wars problem solved. Don't try to fix the wrongs of the past or whatever Kathleen Kennedy had to deal with as an executive producer moving up in the world.
Yeah.
Well, the response to this has been, obviously there's been a lot of ratios associated with this Variety article here from the creator of Acolyte, including Master TDS, who was on the show yesterday. Says,
nice.
Says, you literally worked as a personal assistant for Harvey Weinstein. The skeletons in your closet are so numerous, it's not even funny. Your opinion on who is or isn't a fan is completely invalid. Shut up. And that's obviously done very well right here. Yeah. There's been a lot of back and forth. Now, Alan from Film Threat came in, says the message from Lucasfilm is clear. If you don't like it, don't watch it, which seems to be a reoccurring. And then, of course, we have Gary says, begun the Disney Star Wars marketing has right here. And that's the one thing that people have talked about over and over again, is that this is part of their marketing at this point. Like, hey,
that's their playbook. Their playbook just never changes. They just run the same play every time they come out with something new. They've got to get on the front foot of the criticism that they know that they're going to get. Why do they know that? Because they know that they don't even understand what they're actually making. They know that they don't understand the world, the universe, the lore, the canon, the continuity. They don't care. It's been proven that they don't care. How many times has somebody been stabbed by a lightsaber now and survived?
Too many.
Come on. Can we honestly believe that a lightsaber is a formidable weapon anymore?
No, because every new series has, like, it used to be, and this is across entertainment, there used to be the one thing that you can't, like, oh, this is the most powerful thing in the universe. When it comes out, it's serious. Like, a lightsaber fight isn't about a fight. It's meant to represent something. And so the lightsaber itself has always been the most powerful weapon in the universe. But each new series and new iteration, we have a counter to it and a counter to it and a counter to it. And I think it comes from watering down the epic nature of anything or making something too widely available. Like, Jedi and lightsaber should be cut by 90%. They should be rare and special. Star Wars only has a handful of Jedi, and the more you try to tell a Jedi story, all you do is water it down. And I don't even like the Jedi. I love Star Wars. I don't care about flippy dippy lightsaber shit. I want to see war. I want to see spaceships. I want to see struggle of humanity, not, oh my God, so and so. Let me talk about how I was.
He Vadered. Yeah, none of that stuff. But even still, like even in this Acolyte series in the trailer, you've got that force fu, people are calling it, right?
Same
like
here.
it's the kung fu of Star Wars. You know what lightsaber fights were? It was the hand-to-hand combat within the Star Wars universe. That's what a lightsaber fight is. It is the version of the hand-to-hand combat in that universe. It's very rare that you see this Matrix-style claw coming past and swinging past the body in slow motion, taking a bit of Zack Snyder's little thing. Like, you don't need that. That's not what Star Wars is. And they've twisted it so much that it's not even, that's why I say Disney Star Wars isn't Star Wars. Because it's not.
It's funny you mention that, because George Lucas has chimed in on this whole girl boss thing. We're going to get to that in just a second. But first, Kyle came in as a member, says, is it just me or does Jeff look like the irate gamer?
I hate to tell you, it's me. I've told you all along, Austin. I know who that guy is. I'm an AVGN guy, though, so I don't know irate. Sorry.
Apparently, irate gamer he's kind of rebranded himself as some like ghost hunter or something. So it's interesting.
Good luck.
Super Bear says, once again, I'm glad I get to hang out here with all these normal men, big, beautiful men. Hey, thanks, Super Bear. Appreciate that. We are just normal men here. Corey came in and says, Blabs is hotter than that TikTok bouncy fun bag lady. All right. Thanks, Corey. You can tell that makes Blabs super comfortable. Bullet came in and says, for sharing that vid. Don't know what that lady was saying, but it was inspirational or something.
You mean this video?
People commenting on my videos about this. You guys have a hard time believing that when I talk.
What happened? Yeah, that's really what happened.
Where'd she go?
And when you really pulled that off at the right time, just really had a hard time. You know, she faded out, and that's pretty much how most men they go, and they just focus and they don't even hear what's. Yeah, it's like Bullet Shepherd was saying. She I'm sure it was inspirational, very inspirational. Nathan says, Blab just got a promotion for that video, like Leslie Headland. There you go. Lord J came in and says, I'm talking huge pozongalonga. Thank you. Appreciate that. Wildo T. Baggins says, Blabs, the wing girl we all need. Let's go. Enrique came in and says, hello, bro chachos. Jeff excited for comic, and Ryan, great Lego sets. There we go. And thanks, Enrique.
Thanks, man.
Marcus came in and says, Rings of Power. See your Harry Potter glasses and raise you for Gandalf and hobbits in the second age. Thanks, Marcus. Appreciate that. Tommy says, thank you, Blabs, for the cheats. I mean, chess revive.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Emerald came in, says, I like the Bad Batch season 1 and 2. Season 3 was bad. Thanks, Emerald. Lord Jake came in, says, too much common sense. Bring back the boobies. That's right. Hey, at the end of the day, people just like boobs. That's really crazy how it is.
I like your take on boobies.
It's true. Worthy one says, yeah, the former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein doesn't get to judge who's a fan and who's not. Thanks, Worthy one.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Can I just quickly touch on that previous super chat where just saying like some people out there enjoyed like season 1 and 2 of Bad Batch, didn't really like the third one, thought it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
Despite how you feel about certain elements of Disney Star Wars, like I hate all of it. It's all bad, right? There are elements of maybe some goodness in there, but they all equate to bad. No matter what you do or don't like when it comes to Disney Star Wars, the best solution for Lucasfilm right now to turn the corner and actually start making money out of Star Wars is to decanonize everything that they've done and start again. It will never happen. I know that. Right. But that's the optimum solution because you've got your foundation. You can go back. And this is the thing. People go, oh, but then what happens to all the people that liked, what Disney
They're not around anyway.
Done? Well, what happens to all the people that liked the EU when they decanonized that? You know,
They're so
they've
pissed off.
obviously done it once. They can do it again. It's not the biggest thing in the world, but they will never do it because that admits that they fucked it up. And they're not going, sorry, I can swear, right?
Yes. Actually,
yeah.
I encourage it.
Yeah, good.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's really what it comes down to. Even if you are enjoying certain elements of it, I get it, but they need to remove it all and start again. That's the best solution.
Would you support it financially if they did that? Would you be willing to overlook all the garbage and wasted time of your life and say, hey, here's my money again. You got rid of it.
I'd be willing to open the door to it. I'd have to see what they did. Like, they could come in and do the Thrawn trilogy and do it really badly. Look at what they did with Thrawn. No one there seems to be able to write a character like Thrawn. No one's smart enough to write a character like Thrawn over there. So it would depend on who they get. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say one last thing, and I'll stop cutting in on this so we can keep things going. But you got to remember about a brand. Branding is not necessarily the world or sometimes the stories. It's the characters, and you got to look at the most popular Star Wars characters, and you can't bring them back. And those are the things that make money, and they've already pulled that out of their hat. So for them to ever try to admit failure or do anything, Han, Luke, and Leia, that's Star Wars. If you like the prequels, which I grew up with, that's cool too. But those don't move the needle. All the nostalgia for the prequels are in these TV shows that don't hit, and all the stuff that would get everybody back on board is the original Star Wars because that's the only cultural event. 1999 may have been dominated by the Phantom Menace at the box office, but the movie that everybody, including this new show, The Acolyte, is copying is The Matrix. Star Wars has not been the most important part of entertainment, and I'm talking like what actually moves the needle and changes it since the 1980s. And I get it. I like the prequel stuff now in hindsight, but those movies they made money, but they were part of just the time they came in. They were not game changers like the old Star Wars.
You know, I want to compound on what you said about, and you said when the first movies were released, you didn't like them, right? And I think over the last, just looking at it from the outside in, I was there when they released that movie. What was it, 99, right? Was it? And I mean, I saw the movie in theaters, and I remember the general consensus from all my friends with me, and like, yeah, it sucked. It was not good. But I think that has changed over the last 10 or 15 years. I think that, especially back then, the general thought was the original trilogy, right? I guess that's 1, 2, and 3, because 4, 5, and 6 were. I guess how does it work with
the
Star
original
Wars?
4, 5, and 6?
Okay.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, and 3 were seen as like the knockoffs. Like they were like, it's like not George Lucas's best work. That's the narrative that I remember. And I think that over the last 10, 15, 20 years, that narrative has shifted a little bit as people have been a little bit more accepting to them. And they look back at the newer ones, they're like, okay, those weren't as bad as we thought. So
bingo.
Well, this is the other thing too with that, is that with something like the Phantom Menace Episode 1, over time, it's a bit like the Rogue One Vader hallway scene, right? Without that Vader hallway scene in Rogue One, that movie isn't really that great, right? But everyone always references the hallway scene, the hallway scene, the hallway scene. Well, the thing that elevates something like the Phantom Menace is the Duel of the Fates. That fight, the music, the score, everything about that does really elevate that movie to a different plateau, so to speak. And I think over time, Jeff, I know I saw you. I think over time, people have started to appreciate that more, probably because of the good elements of the movie, like the Duel of the Fates, and that's really my point.
I just think that movie is that scene is so amazing. Like, we all get the feels, and like, if you were back there in the 99, the music was on the radio, like that was everywhere. But that's really that movie. And going back, I did a little documentary. Every piece of advertisement for that movie is the Duel of Fates, the fight scene on Tatooine, and the whatchamacallit in the space battle. And of course, every movie's going to copy or have the best parts in the trailer, but other movies have more than just the trailer scenes. Even me, who's kind about it, Episode 1 kind of lives and dies by its pod race, its lightsaber duel, and a few of the good moments. Like, I don't really need to hear people talk.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of where we're at right now. Is T1S came in and says Star Wars hates normal men. Matthew came in and says all the previews last weekend were prequels, sequels, or remakes of 20-plus-year-old franchises, aside from Kevin Costner's Western. That's where we're at. And I think you're going to continue to see that for sure.
Yep.
There you go.
Tommy came in and says, look at it from a shareholder perspective. Disney had all female fans with princesses, kids, both genders with Pixar. They bought Disney and Marvels to get the teen boys. Then they turned the Force female. Just a dumb move. Thanks, Tommy, for your Danish monies.
100%.
Jeffrey came in and says, I don't understand seeking to validate one's personage through movies and games. That is all this Star Wars crap is about. Just tell the story. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah.
And Veggie Bad came in with a massive $49.99 super chat. Blabs, go to read that off while I put Veggie Bad on the wall, please.
All right. Veggie Bad says SJWs and media are just the useful pawns that tail corporate marching orders from a company that don't care about franchises like Star Wars. This isn't a conspiracy of leftists taking over. It's a symptom of corporate greed using SJW as fodder.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
I
you.
agree with that.
Yep.
Thanks, Veggie Bad. That's incredibly generous and much appreciated. Miku came in and says, Irate Gamer, that's a side scroller's guest to have on. Yeah, he would be pretty fun to talk about for sure. I think we actually have him on our list.
Mm-hmm.
Death Drummer came in and says, I suspect Kennedy's statements were a direct response to what Lucas said recently. Star Wars was always organic in its diversity. Oh, yeah, we're going to get to that in just a second.
Oh, sorry, but there is one more thing in regards to that whole thing with George Lucas and the interviews that he's done recently and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys still believe that he's coming back to Star Wars to save it?
He never was, because nobody remembers the actual reason why he got rid of Star Wars. Fans didn't like Episode 1. People harassed him. People ran up to him on the street. People dumped on those movies. The People versus George Lucas is a very well-known documentary. I just say this as like a long-term fan, and you got to be careful, because people think if you say anything bad about George Lucas, you like the Disney stuff. And no, George Lucas isn't the George Lucas he once was. And Star Wars isn't just George Lucas. If we had just George Lucas, it'd be prequels and crap. But you got a guy like Gary Kurtz, who was a producer. You got artisans like Ralph McQuarrie and John Williams, who really bring that to Star Wars. Star Wars is more than George Lucas. But that being said, Lucas, the fans turned on Lucas for Episode 1, and he gave up. Why would he ever come back to that fan base? I'm just throwing it out there. People like to ignore that because it's a nice video topic to get people clicking on. Will he come back? Never in a million years. He got paid $4 billion. He's the biggest shareholder. He votes for what they want. He's been on record. He doesn't like you guys, and I'm included in that, because we didn't like Episode 1 25 years ago, and it doesn't matter that we like it now or build up his movies. You hurt the guy then. He got rid of it. And that's it. He's never coming back. He's laughing to the bank. He's got a new family, and he's got a public reason why he left. But he'll never come back because there's no value in it to him anymore.
100%. Yep, he won't do it. Well, there's obviously his age and the family elements to what you're saying, but this is the other thing too, is if he was to come back, let's just throw it out there. Let's say he does come back. How is George Lucas going to do George Lucas Star Wars in amongst Disney Star Wars? That's not going to actually make any sense with the current continuity and the current canon that we've got. So that's another element or another factor to take into consideration when actually thinking about this is, and the other thing too that I hate hearing, especially from the people out there that are like, oh, yes, this next show that came out, it's the best Star Wars we've ever seen. Oh, the next one, the best Star Wars we've ever seen. Oh, the next one, best Star Wars we've ever seen. They're the ones that come out and say, oh, Dave Filoni's been promoted to Chief Creative Officer. Star Wars is saved. Or George Lucas is coming back to Star Wars. Star Wars is saved. What is it saved from? In your perspective, in your eyes, Star Wars is in a really good place. Everything that is coming out is really good, right? But yet you still say that Star Wars is being saved by this new announcement or this new person that's coming in. How does that work? It's kind of like when they make the argument about, oh, the EU was never canon. How does Disney de-canonize something that was never canon? That's an oxymoron. It doesn't make any sense. You can't de-canonize something that was never canon.
All right, let's go move on. Let's
go
go
rant.
No, I love it. I told you I was gonna throw you the softball and let you hit grand slams today, baby. All right, Hey, Blake, thank you so much for becoming a monthly member over on Rumble. Appreciate that, man. That is awesome. And Abomination came in with the 2 over on Rumble, says it's a live action adaptation of Kirsha's Avatar. Hey, thank you very much. The bouncy boobs that we're going to have in a minute. Lone Wolf came in, says Blabs is already fulfilling an election promise. That's right. We all know at the end of the day that if you vote for Blabs, it's a
Vote for me is a vote for boobs.
There you go. Thanks, Lone Wolf. Appreciate that. And Shane came in, says Star Wars, Disney Star Wars is about as good as the contents of my cat's litter box. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Speaking of, by the way, we know we have a song to sing a little bit later on. So just a heads up, we know. And then Shane came back, says, hear me out. Disney can salvage Star Wars if they allow someone to use the Force on a large Bob woman we saw earlier. The large boob woman we saw earlier. It's at least a step in the right direction. There you go. That's right. I think there's another type of movie. I'm sure there's a porn wars or something like that.
I was gonna say it sounds really bad, but is it grape if you use a Jedi mind trick?
Oh no. No.
Is it
Wonder Woman?
We're just gonna move on from that one. We'll definitely move on from that one. Hey, guess what? George Lucas came in.
Sorry, Craig.
It's okay. So George Lucas came in with, this is from That Park Place. Says George Lucas bashes girl boss heroes. Says you can't just put a woman in pants and expect her to be a hero. Now, we've talked about George Lucas quite a bit here. He was at the Cannes Film Festival where he received an honor. Great, good for him. He was asked by Variety. He says that Lucas addressed criticism of his female characters, questioning, who do you think the heroes are in the stories? What do you think Princess Leia was? She's the head of the rebellion. She's the one that's taking this young kid who doesn't know anything and is boisterous, this boisterous, I know everything guy who can't do anything and try to save the rebellion with these clowns. And it's the same thing with Queen Amidala. Then he appeared to broaden his criticism to the general girl boss trend Hollywood has embraced to promote feminism. Says you can't just put a woman in pants and expect her to be a hero. They can wear dresses, they can wear whatever they want. It's their brains and their ability to think and plan and be logical. That's what a hero is. Now I'll just open it up to you guys right there. Do you agree? It seems like a pretty base take from George Lucas right there, but he does have more to say, and we'll continue that in just a second.
I think that's what everybody's been wanting to say and have been trying to say for years, because people feel like they're yelling into the void when they get this corporate Disney response to all the crap, because we've all liked stuff before. Ellen Ripley wears pants and uses a gun and a flamethrower and says the word bitch. Like, she kicks ass in that movie. And never once did we go, oh man, she's disrespecting the guys. Or never once did we watch Princess Leia yell at Han Solo and go, oh man, she hates men. No, Lucas understood it. Like, you can say, I've said a lot about the prequels. Like, Padme doesn't suck and Princess Leia is iconic. I will drop any amount of money to make sure Princess Leia is a part of the collection. It doesn't matter, male or female. Princess Leia is worth my time. Other characters, male or female, aren't. I only buy if they're good. I don't care what the gender is.
You know, it's funny because you wonder if he's going to receive backlash for saying something like this. The idea that, will George Lucas receive backlash for just saying like, hey, come on, what are we doing here? Right. If you're going to write a woman, man, whatever, at least give them a good story. Give them some intellect. Allow them to solve the issues. But he continues on in this article here during the interview.
Just quickly, George,
yes.
To me, he seems like he's over it. It's
I
like
agree.
It's like Jeff was saying earlier with the prequels. He copped a bit of shit from some of the fans out there, and now even after selling it, they're retroactively spinning this narrative of like, oh, it's been patriarchal, or it's all about the strong female characters. Even when you watch the interview, it just seems like it's almost like a robotic answer. He's just like, you guys are this is ridiculous. I don't know why I'm really answering this question at the end of the day. That's how it comes across to me anyway. He's over it.
Well, he continued. He says, not only did Lucas address criticism of his female characters, he also fired back at people unhappy that his Star Wars films do not have enough diversity based on character color. Lucas shared, they would say it's all white men. Most of them are aliens.
Who?
What's that?
Sorry. No, just who out there is saying it's all white men? This is the bullshit narrative that they're actually spinning, though, to try and get a reaction from George or from anyone really, because this never happened.
Well, so wait, so just to be clear, you're saying that people aren't complaining about it being all white men?
Yeah.
I've never, and I'm not a white guy. Star Wars
even-
was great as is. Like, you don't need to change it to make it appeal to women and minorities. Han Solo's cool no matter what color you are. Lando's cool no matter what color you are. Princess Leia's cool no matter what color you are. These characters suck, and they just so happen to be minorities. That's the problem.
I feel like the only people that would say something like that are the people on Twitter that have pronouns in their bios and that ship the characters together. Because like
Raylo.
the Raylo stuff, or the Din Cobb, Din Djarin and Cobb Vanth. Have you not heard that one? Oh,
What the hell?
Let me tell you this really quickly. So this was a thread that I saw on Twitter, and it was a guy. He goes, "I got a new job, and I went to work for my first day, and I'm a massive Star Wars fan, and I just happened to mention it to some of my colleagues, and there was another guy there that said that he's a massive Star Wars fan too. So I asked him, what's your favorite ship? And he came back and said, Din Cobb. And I'm like, oh, Din Cobb, I've never heard of that ship. What's that? And he goes, Din Djarin and Cobb Vanth. And all he was thinking in his head is, no, your favorite spaceship, you fucking retard. Like, that's exactly what he was thinking. And that's where he quoted that. Like these are the people that would go out there now and say that it's all about, it's all white straight males or whatever.
Okay. It took me a minute, but the idea of shipping two people together, I get it. Yes. Okay.
Oh my God. It's like, what's your favorite
we need a Craig learning moment. Like Blabs learning moment.
If you go back and look at it, you'll actually see it ding in my head. I was like, oh, there it is right there. I figured it out.
Choose you. You can watch it break.
Right. Well, he continued with this answer. Says the idea that you're supposed to accept people for what they are, whether they're big and furry or whether they're green or whatever. The idea is all people are equal. So there we go. And that's and he said, as he said in the past, he noted that robots are the ones being discriminated against. That way, a way of saying, people are always discriminating against something, or sooner or later, that's what's going to happen. So there you go. I mean, he's pretty much just like, hey, y'all chill. Just make good characters.
Bingo. That whole thing about the droids, like droids are programmed machines. They are property, and it's not that they're slaves to their owners. It's nothing like that whatsoever. Like this
is your car a slave to you?
Yeah, that's right. This is Star Wars lore. When Han Solo puts his hand over 3PO's mouth when he's on Hoth, like that's not like a disrespect thing or anything towards a droid. And to think that they're sentient, like how they portrayed them in the Solo movie, where as soon as you remove the restraining bolt, they're up on the table going like this, because that's essentially what they're programmed to do, because it's a machine, right? That's got programming. So that means that without the restraining bolt, it was actually programmed to get up on the table and protest.
Yep.
Like, it's so stupid.
Thanks, Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Yeah, thanks so much.
That's what's coming to Tomb Raider. She ruined 007 and Indiana Jones.
Oh, man.
That woman is like poison to franchises.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see kind of what happens with that. But Tomb Raider is another show for another time, and we'll need to get Melanie Mack on with that for sure. A lot of super chats, guys. Thank you very much. We'll definitely get to every single one. As Pyro Ronpaw says, that's it. Blabs has given us 2 jiggly reasons to bring back brochachos.
Well, how about 4 jiggly reasons?
Let's go. Whoa.
Whoa.
Relax.
Whoa.
I feel like we should.
I've gone cross-eyed. I can't see properly.
I was even thinking about doing one upside down, but I was like, nah, that might confuse them.
Oh, wow. I feel like that should be the new 50. Like at 50, they just get the there you go.
Steiner math has nothing on that.
Peter came in and says one of the clearest indications of the quality of Disney Star Wars is the lack of original ship and vehicle designs. I can't think of more than 5 ship types in name.
They're
Thank you.
all evolutions of the old ones. That's
Yeah.
it. There's nothing new.
But the one that gets me the most is in Mando when they're actually transporting like an explosive device or explosive liquid or something that will get more closer to exploding the more movement it makes, but it's on wheels. They're transporting it on like a dirt track with wheels as opposed to using repulsor lifts. Like, it's just, anyway, yes, the lack of creativity when it comes to their ships and vehicles is ridiculous. But their world building's the same. Sorry.
Mo came in and says, damn it, Blabs, I've had to change my pants twice now. We'll make it number 3, baby.
You're welcome.
Darian says, Disney is ignoring results. More people love Star Wars when George ran it. Disney is making Star Wars for less people, leftist, women, and activists. Thanks, Darian. Worthy One came in and says, did anyone hear the rumor of Disney possibly making Starkiller from the Force Unleashed canon? Hell nah. I don't trust Disney with Starkiller.
Hasn't that been a rumor for years and years and years? It just circulates every once in a while.
There's just a couple of things with that. Like when it comes to them touching these characters and trying to use them, like Revan and stuff like that, it's the same thing. I don't want them anywhere near it. They're just going to completely destroy those characters. They've already done it to Thrawn. You've seen what they've done to him, pulled him out and made him completely ridiculous. But there was another point that I wanted to make, and I can't remember. What did Superchat say?
It's that 3 a.m.
Yeah,
it's 3 a.m. over there. Well, if it comes back to you, we'll get to it. Andy Bath came in and says, corporations aren't making anything for one group, flooding the industry while cleansing the earth of ideas that don't conform and making it so a whole generation grows up with DEI as normal. Sheesh. Master Gawa came in and says, feminism taught Hollywood that a strong woman basically fights like a man. Is it Delan from Babylon 5 is a strong woman that could never be created today. Tommy came in, says, repeat from first stream. South Park told George Lucas this 22 years ago. He still only partially gets it. Season 6, episode 9, free hot.
Free hot.
Norma Stitz, get it? Came in, says, let's not forget Leia Mary Poppins in The Last Jedi. F you, Disney.
It's true, she did.
Peter says, shippers are a plague on fandoms. They are some of the most toxic people in any fandom. And
I agree.
Oh, 100%.
I agree.
Like the
Big
shit
time.
that you see in like Harry Potter is freaking weird. Like the men loving the victims and like Hermione with
Super Bear came. Sorry,
you
Blab.
shithead, Craig.
I just couldn't do it, Blab. Sorry, I just couldn't do it.
This is Craig every time I talk.
I don't care.
No, not that I don't care. So I just didn't want to dig into that. That was too much. Super Bear says, cease 4 bouncy moons. Looks closer. Those are no moons. Thank you, Super Bear. Appreciate that. Woo.
I did remember what I wanted to say really quickly. The other thing in regards to that was the Starkiller thing. So they've already used Starkiller's name in regards to Starkiller Base in The Force Awakens. I don't see them doing that, to be honest with you, and pulling that out. Because also, too, you got to remember, Starkiller was Vader's apprentice, and they're already starting to do that now with the Inquisitors. And they're giving us the female representation with the Inquisitors more than anything else. So they're going to keep using that. They're going to keep going down that line, then probably bringing in someone like Starkiller. Yeah.
We'll finish up. Ian came in with 10 gifted memberships just now. Ian, thank you so much. That is spectacular. We got one more story coming up in just a second. Ooh, woo. Thanks, Ian. Appreciate that. We're going to get you up on the wall. Blake came in with a 2 over on Rumble, says the Force may have turned female, but the thwarts will always be male. Thanks, Blake. And Zarian came in with the 10 over on Rumble, says, did you come here for answers? There are none. The call of Disney is strong, but it is called the dead. Thanks, Aaron. Appreciate that. Also, Shane came in and says, true fact, the current fan base of Disney Wars owns 60% of domesticated cats. Thanks, Shane. Appreciate your knowledge. Also, Middle Andrew picked up the brand new Side Scrollers Pride Month shirt. over there. Go pick it up right now. Middle Andrew says, let's start Pride Month off right with real pride. That's right. And also, James Brighter came in and picked up the brand new Let Us Skateboard t-shirt. It says, newest viewer, I just watch and listen to the podcast. Love hearing about your experiences in the industry, Craig. Blabs is such a cool lady. Great dynamic on the show. Tell your daughter she did a great job as a skater and a graphic designer. I love it. Hey, thanks, James. Really appreciate your support. She's going to be thrilled. Yes, she's going to be so psyched. She's like, because once again, every shirt that's sold, she gets $5. So she's like, yeah, that's awesome. Stardust Viking also picked up the Let Us Skateboard t-shirt. Thank you so much, Stardust Viking. Danger Doom came in with the 5, says, Negro League stats are now official Major League Baseball stats. Josh Gibson is your new batting champion. Take that, Babe Ruth and Ty Cobb, you white devils.
Wait, that happened?
Yeah, that happened a couple days ago. Yes.
I'm late to the party. Whew.
Yeah. And shame on, if we can learn anything from Boogie, shame on Major League Baseball for keeping the Negro leagues. Obi-Wan says, want good Star Wars? Play the PlayStation 1 tie-in game for Phantom Menace on PlayStation Network on PSN. I fall into fans and turn into little cubes and slaughter an entire village of Gungans and Qui-Gon. Ask me not to do it. It's a classic PlayStation 1 jank for only $10. Episode 2 coming soon.
Nice.
Thanks, Obi-Wan. And Mercenary says, I like the Star Wars prequels when I saw them on release, and I never thought anything bad about them. Unlike Jeff, I couldn't help but enjoy it. But when I saw Force Awakens, I saw the writing on the wall and just walked away. They destroyed Star Wars intentionally. Thanks, Mercenary. Appreciate that. All right, let's move on to one final quick hit. We've gone a little longer on the time clock today, and we appreciate Ryno literally hanging out with us till middle of the night down there in Aussie land, and obviously Jeff hanging out with us as well. But I did want to hit this as this just dropped a second ago. The Deadpool and Wolverine movie is coming out, and there's been a lot of talk about the popcorn bucket that's going to be released. This just was announced, and there was a lot going on with remember the Dune popcorn bucket that looks, well, there's been a lot of speculation around the Deadpool and Wolverine popcorn bucket, and it has officially been shown off. Here it is for the first time. It is this is what it looks like right designed by Deadpool right there. Oh, Ryno loves it.
Oh, it's so funny. That second picture got me. That's so funny. Oh, it's brilliant.
I love it. Yeah, they were working on this for a while. This is Ryan Reynolds all over it. And yes, this is real. This is the popcorn bucket that you will get when you go see Deadpool and Wolverine in theaters. I mean, pretty genius.
Is it going to be $50 like the Star Wars one?
Right. I don't know. No word on that. But
it's so much better than what I thought it was going to be. It's so much better. I thought it was just going to be like a Deadpool hand holding a fleshlight. That would be funny, right? That's what I was sort of thinking, something along those lines. Obviously, they couldn't do that because, does
that mean we're going to get the mask in the movie now? Like, none of the trailers have the Wolverine mask.
That's a good point.
Does that mean he's going to wear that at some point? Because, you're making a piece of merchandise, and I like Wolverine. Not enough to buy this, but, I want to see that mask.
I think it's been confirmed that the new movie will indeed have the old or like the traditional Wolverine outfit. I think it's confirmed. Yeah. So, all right. One last other quick hit here. This is kind of the state of video game journalism, if you will. Our friends over at IGN put this out earlier, talking about Stellar Blade, which has seen tremendous success since its release. As a matter of fact, it was the top-selling game in April. Good stuff. But asterisks, as IGN would put it, this is the headline over on X. Stellar Blade has clinched the top spot of the April sales charts, though it's the lowest sales to lead in April since Prototype 2. There's always the asterisk next to it, kind of having some sort of qualifier of like, yeah, but it didn't do that great, did it? Mm-hmm. So they're kind of getting blown up about this, kind of putting the qualifier in there saying like, well, I think there's a larger issue here that if and it needs to be addressed, is that if Stellar Blade sales weren't as high, and it's been what 12, 13 years since I think it was 2012 was when Prototype 2 was released. If that's the case, and the sales are low, the lowest and April has been since that long, then you probably need to look at video games as a whole and see how well they're doing. Because if you're seeing a decline in sales, specifically AAA games, maybe there's a message out there about this. Just throwing it out there that people are kind of tired of all this nonsense. So
same with movies. That's why Furiosa flopped too. It's not just it's a bad series or bad string of movies for over a decade in theaters. People aren't going back either. So
do you think that that theaters, kind of taking a step to the left here, do you think that theaters will recover, or that there'll ever be a day where people hey, on Friday night, I'm going to the movies? I personally don't, and I don't think it necessarily has to do with the idea that we have phones in our hands. I don't think that. I think it has a direct tie to it cost so much to go see a movie now. I think it costs. Like, I don't want to take my kid. It cost if I go see a movie, it's going to cost me $150 by the time we're done with popcorn and drinks and candy, and you have tickets that are $15-20 now. It's like, I would much rather spend money on something else than 2 hours in a theater, personally.
Well, there is the streaming services, which definitely takes away from that. You can just wait for it to hit on streaming and then watch it at home in your theater room if you got one, or whatever the case may be. There is that cost element, of course, but I think it really does come down to the quality of movies that we're getting recently. You know,
I agree with both of you.
If there was something that you really, really wanted to see, and you could go and see it in theaters with your awesome surround sound and your big screen and your popcorn and all of that sort of thing, you'll find the money to do it.
Oh yeah.
If there's something,
was a priority last year for a lot of people.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's just the quality of the stuff that's really saying that the cost isn't worth it.
Agreed 100%, because I will go see stuff for the channel and I will use my Regal Pass. So I'm paying like my flat whatever monthly fee. But if I go see something that I have to go see at an AMC, that's time and money. And if I take my mind out of the channel responsibilities, I don't really enjoy going to the movies because of what you're saying and what you're saying, Craig. It's so prohibitively expensive, dude. I spent $34 on popcorn, a drink, and a ticket. Like for $35, I can go get a shitty steak dinner. I can buy a discount video game. I can get a figure, something that'll stay there forever. And I'm gambling on every movie I go see. I have been disappointed by stuff that you'd think would be a surefire hit. You know, I sat through a decade of disappointment for Spider-Man. More. It took me from 2007 to 2021 to finally get a Spider-Man movie I liked. And I went and saw all those damn movies. I'm kind of burnt out on giving anything a shot, even if I like it. New James Bond, ooh, don't get me started on the last one. You got to follow up, and you got to make it. If you're going to put it the cost, you got to have a reward. So that's it.
Yeah.
Hear that. All right. Man, Rebound came in with the €2 money. Says, what do you mean not moons? Looks moon size to me. Yeah, those were pretty impressive. Roland New came in with $4.99. Says that they'd make Revan a girl, and the reason they fell out with Malik will be a bad breakup. I don't even know what these names are. Kreia will be a wronged girl boss by Scion and Nihilus. Roland New on
Nihilus, yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Wow. The funny thing is that I wouldn't put it past Disney to actually do everything that person just said, as much as a disaster it would be.
Roland New also came back, says, great show today. I can talk Star Wars all day. Disney needs to stay away from Old Republic and EU content at this point. Already ruined Ron. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, Roland New. Accident Seller came and says, this stream, bad day to start No Nut or Day Challenge.
Come on, Ryno. You're making it difficult, bro.
Miku says Sonic 3 and Saw X was worth it for me. Thanks so much, Miku. Appreciate your support. Tech Support Gaming came in with the $5 direct donation. Says, gave you guys a boost on my X account. Don't have a big following, but anything to help support you guys. Thanks, Tech Support. Says, P.S. Blabs, Team Green, let's go. PPS, what cameras do you guys use? I'm looking to upgrade my stream setup. So I use a Panasonic. It's like 15 years old, and it's actually a camera that I have from Screw Attack back in the day. It's like a really nice camera that you probably shouldn't have. So that's the one I use. But I think everybody else has webcams and stuff. What do you guys use?
Yeah, I have a Razer webcam.
This is a Nexigo, and I took a risk on Amazon because it was $34 for 1080p quality, and it works. You just got to light yourself. That's one thing if you're ever going to do stuff online, folks, with a webcam. Lighting is key because you can get away with a lower quality camera with the right lighting, and you can get away with a video if you have better audio. So if you're going to do any online presence, have great audio, and then get your lighting game set up, and then worry about your set. Random advice.
I've just got some random camera that I have no idea. I just bought it online, and here it is.
I actually have an update on the bucket, and it's a trailer from Ryan Reynolds. So would you like to watch it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
All right, here it is. You might get copyright music.
Oh no, we got the tongue in it.
Ew.
Stroking it.
Does this have the space?
Yeah, it does. We can't play it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, brilliant. Just brilliant.
He is pretty good.
Yeah, he's a brilliant marketer, for sure.
He is.
That's great.
Or his team is, either one.
That's so funny.
Why would they do that? I hope there's a little nozzle that allows you to spray the butter down like that. Oh,
I hope the popcorn bucket's not this big though, because if you pay like $40 and all you get is a small popcorn, that's where I complain. Like, charge me if you're gonna pay $50 for like a Star Wars bucket, it should have free refills forever and be bigger than a large. Like, I'm okay with the popcorn bucket game, but don't screw me out on my popcorn now. Come on,
yeah.
You make most of your money anyway.
The free refills should. I mean, that shouldn't even have to be said. If you're paying like $15 for pop, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
so, unreal. Hey, Mimic came in, says on Rumble, says, from the way Disney is going with their female characters, by this time next year they'll have all beards. Thanks, Mimic. Yeah. Abomination says Forbes article on Stellar Blade says it's impressive because 1, it's not a sequel/remake. 2, not based on recognizable IP. 3, not from a studio with AAA game experience, and 4, single player only, and 5, no MTX. MTX, what is MTX? Abomination. I'm sorry, I don't. And then he says, I think I smell a correlation for good games. Thanks, Abomination. Appreciate your support. I'm sorry, I don't know what the MTX is. Maybe
Google says it's audio. American Consumer Audio Company.
That doesn't make sense. Richard Stinkman came in and picked up the brand new American Pride t-shirt. Once again, pick it up. Link is in the description. The reason we're releasing it now instead of in July is because I want you to have that shirt for July. You see, I wanted to have it in your rotation.
And it's the real Pride you should have.
That's right. That's right. This is our celebration of Pride over here, guys. You guys go pick up your shirts right now. Also, Mercenary picked up the Let Us Skateboard t-shirt over on the store. It says, to help your daughter out, I'll get the American Pride next week. But I got to think about Kingdom Hearts on Steam. Ultimately, I need to get it on Steam since my PlayStation 4 no longer works. Well, the disc reader doesn't work. All right, Mercenary. Thank you very much for your support.
MTX chat says is microtransactions.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's important to me.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. And John came in and says, Kip Duran, is that right? Kip Duran?
Yeah.
Was Star Killer. He glue the Sun Crusher the Sun Crusher into the center of a star, maybe flew. He was Luke's first apprentice. Thank you very much, John. Appreciate that. I'm sorry I butchered that, and it's also fun to butcher those things. All right.
I got
Listen,
memes.
We have memes.
Yes. Okay. So the first things first is my face is being memed. So
on the toilet.
Blabsky. This is me fixing everything on the back end, like locals and rumbles. Everything is fine. We also have this amazing thing here.
My name's Jeff.
It is.
Love it.
What did it say?
Send me that,
My
please.
name's Jeff.
My name's Jeff.
And then we have this also. Blabs are in the chat and comments. So thanks, memers.
Love it.
Those are awesome.
Legion.
Thank you.
The memers are the best. Thank you guys very much. All right, and thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you go find Jeff. Jeff, where can everybody find you?
So, folks, you can find me on the World Class Bullshitters channel. I did talk to YouTube directly. We need your help. You got to search our videos out now. They told us how certain things work with the algorithm. And so WCBS needs your help to grow. So if you could go check out our videos that way, they won't be showing up in your feed. That's why I'm telling you here. With confirmation from YouTube, we found out how it works. So, folks, check us out, watch the videos, and share them. That's the best way to spread the word. Help us get to 200K, then the million, then 10 million. But beyond that, folks, Bookbusters, check it out on Kickstarter. It's live.
You know, we didn't even touch on the story. We need to, we should definitely do that before we go. Jeff, do you have time?
I have time for you guys, of course. Keep it going.
Ryno, I know it's the middle of the night. Do you have time?
My eyes are closing. I'll go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's do it.
No. Ryno, you roll out. Tell everybody where they can find
it's
you.
okay. It's all right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Look, those of you guys who stayed towards the end, I'm glad you guys are here. Ryno, appreciate you hanging. All right. Look, you never know when the show's going to end. Jeff, tell everybody your story. Tell everybody what you're talking about here with this copyright thing, because this is actually kind of important. And by kind of important, I mean really important.
So, folks, as you know, one of the things we talk about on the channel is toys. Toys are a very close-knit community here on YouTube. You can talk about toys in many different ways, the way they sell, the way they don't, or you can talk about what's new and upcoming and review stuff as well. And so one of the channels that I've been a big fan of, a proponent of, I've been a part of on their show is the 3POA podcast. They put out some really great toy news. Bobby Val is a toy owner, he owns his own toy company, Valaverse, which makes their own action figures. So it's a toy podcast that gets a lot of information and has a lot of knowledge. And so one of their insiders sent them some G.I. Joe prototypes, which they showed on their stream. And another channel decided to take their copywritten or the images shown on their show, remove the watermark and all that stuff to present them as their own. And then what happened was the first channel who had their stuff taken from them called them out. Well, that second channel that did the stealing then false copy claimed because they decided they didn't like that the truth was coming out. So they copy claimed them and they got a copy strike on the YouTube channel. Then when the channel was trying to get support and attention for all of this stuff, they all of a sudden were putting it on Instagram. Their Instagrams were struck down with 25 copy strikes. This guy was copy striking stuff before they even knew stuff was going on. Stuff was being taken out left and right. Retro Blastin' had them on. We had them on the High Council last Tuesday. All these people have been out there trying to spread the word about this false copy claim that hit this channel. And so now that the 3POA podcast has been getting their story boosted, the other channel has been losing like over 1,000 subscribers at this point, and people are kind of writing them off. So that's kind of the situation, but it's been very severe and very hot burning for like a week and a half to 2 weeks now.
Wow, that's so
That's crazy.
okay. The TLDR, they took the footage, put their assets on it.
Essentially,
They put their assets on it, and then are filing copyright claims based off of footage they don't even own. That's okay. You mentioned you've spoken to YouTube about this before we were originally going to go, and then we didn't. What did they say? Like what specifically did YouTube say?
Oh, I was discussing as my outro, I was saying how I've been seeing certain things with my YouTube channel, World Class Bullshitters, meaning I spoke to YouTube about stuff. And so I was telling the audience about what's going on with that. And if you're asking about the copyright stuff, the channel 3POA is still waiting for them to have the strike reversed, because here's why we'll tie it together. Because of our channel size, we speak directly to people. You guys will probably have that too. But if you're a smaller creator, you go to, I'm not bragging about YouTube, believe me. But once right now, if you have a complaint, you'll get an AI bot and you'll get a series of questions and stuff like that. And so he was talking to me, Laser Pants, he was talking to me about and asking for advice on how to deal with this stuff, because there were no people to talk to. So that's why it's really important, folks, to keep the community of things, the conversation going and like paying attention to what's going on and talking to each other, because sometimes stuff happens to smaller channels. They don't have an outlet for help. And so once I hear if the strike's been reversed, I'll announce it on our show. I'll talk about it on Twitter so people can get the information out there.
Got it. Well, it seems pretty messy, for sure. And that's crazy to see that it's happening. This is in the toy space. There's all these like little dramas in each of these little niches and genres on YouTube.
Comics and toys are cutthroat, man. Like people want to just before anything happens, like right in the night, you're gone. So, folks, just support your favorite people that talk about this stuff, and let's keep it fun. There's no reason to fight over comics or toys.
That's right. Speaking of keeping it fun, Bad Gamergate came in with the 5 memberships to the channel. 5 new, more normal men just joining us. Thank you so much, Bad Gamergate. If you guys did get gifted membership, make sure you say thank you. And thank you very much for that, Bad Gamergate. Crazy T says, don't forget to sing, Craig. Oh, I'm not singing today. That's Bro.
Why not? Wait a second. Why is Crazy saying you? What are you trying to do?
Know. I think Crazy's just reminding us to sing, not
I think she means you have to sing.
It very clearly was for you to sing. That's the idea. That. Yes, you don't remember. It was very important. Blabs, you have a song, Never Gonna Give You Up, in an Indian accent. From our boy
Never Gonna Give You Up.
I can do that one. I actually am pretty good with an Indian accent.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're gonna have a duet today, it looks like.
Yeah, Ryno's gonna sing with me.
Raging Ryno.
For that.
Well, I think you're just tired enough, Ryno. Let's go.
Yeah, that's probably true, actually.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your duet pleasure, Brochacho Blabs and Raging Ryno singing Never Gonna Give You Up with an Indian accent. I'll give you the floor.
What's that? Where are we starting from?
I said
the beginning.
Okay, we'll start from the very beginning. Oh, look, you know what? We're gonna full spoilers. Hello.
I don't have the lyrics, so I'll just follow your lead.
Okay. We're no strangers to love. Thank you. Come again. I'm already done. You know the rules, and so do I. Because we're Indian. Thank you. Come again. This is tech support.
This is so very bad. Never gonna give you up.
All right, we'll do that. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Thank you. Come again.
Very good.
Ryno's done. Ta-da!
You keep going.
Ryno just bob. It's fine. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Thank you. Come again. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. Ring-a-ding-a-ding. I'm done.
Yeah, wow.
Are we done now?
I hope that you felt good about that.
I'm gonna get canceled so bad for that.
Nah. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Hey, Super Bear came in and says, filling my my Wolverine bucket with as many corn dogs as can fit in it. And then I put it down and go to the theater to see the movie. There you go, Super Bear. I like your style. And Psychotic Mongoose came in and gifted a normal, just a man membership to the channel. Thank you very much, Psychotic Mongoose. And Pyro Ron Paw says, Craig, hear me out. I think Blabs gave you a great idea for a new shirt, but wait. You can also double up on the double D finger guns. Make some shirts with one boob each. All right. Thank you very much. Well, we have 4 boobs on our channel right now, which is we're all staring at.
This one too.
Yeah, that's
just
good.
The one. Just the one. But yeah.
Well, thank you for that.
It's just like a whole. I want to just let everyone know that on our StreamYards we have the following: titties, big boobs, vote for boobs, boobs, $50 dono, 4 boobs. I like your take on boobies and boobies, and then we finish it off with smell the ass. And that's
so dumb.
And that's just one section.
That's right. We got them all.
Wow.
Got them all.
That's why I love this show.
We also have this one too. We have to play it for Ryno.
A dick.
A dick.
Why for Ryno?
I just thought you'd like it.
L G B C T Q Q I A P. No letter left behind.
No letter.
Ryno. He's like, what the hell was that?
No, that's okay. All right, let's get out of here. We got to go. Ryno's about to fall asleep. Jeff is over here. He's got things to do.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, we appreciate all y'all's support today. Thank you very much for every single super chat coming in, every single Director Nation, every single merchandise picked up, like Mimic, who picked up the Let Us Skateboard t-shirt. Ian came in with the Let Us Skateboard t-shirt. Says, to compliment my Blabs bucket hat, now I'm ready for wedding season. Let's go, Ian. Let's go. Rob came in, picked up the American Pride t-shirt, and CS Warrior came in with the American Pride t-shirt as well. Says, freedom. Let's go. Hey, get yourself some freedom. Go get yourself a t-shirt over there. So show some real pride during the month of June. You guys have a great rest of your day. Remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. Go find Ryno on his channel. Go find Jeff on his channel. Go find Blabs on her channel. And you can find me here tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.
Fatality!